Hi there, welcome back to 108 Watches. Today's subject is the Bulova Oceanographer Devil Diver in the 41mm size. But before we open this box, let's have a quick look at the watch's roots together. In order not to drag this video out too much, I will skip over Bulova's early history. Given that they introduced their first diver in 1961, some 86 years after the company was originally founded, I think it's best to address this in a separate video. So as mentioned, in 1961, Bulova released the first snorkel, a skin diver, as well as the oversized super compressor, which was, well, a super compressor style diver. In 1968, they adopted the then popular cushion case for the snorkel line in a 41mm size. This watch was also the first to feature the distinctive three-dimensional tritium markers. And in 1972, an orange dial version of it was released, which due to its fiery color and the 666 feet water resistance rating, was fittingly named the Devil Diver at some point. This use of orange on divers' watches was quite cutting edge around the time, after scientific experiments had shown that the color offers the most visibility underwater. However, with the rising popularity of quartz technology and watches during the 1970s, Bulova slowly had to phase out some of their lines in order to meet demands and keep themselves afloat. The Loews Corporation bought the company in 1979 and later sold it to Citizen by the end of 2007. But to this day, Bulova still manufactures models that are sought after by collectors, such as their 2018 reissue of the Devil Diver, a 666-piece limited edition, powered by the Swiss Sellita SW200 movement. Along this, Bulova relaunched more watches from the iconic snorkel line as part of their Archive series, both in a 44mm and the classic 41mm format. And in 2021, their latest imagination of the iconic Devil Diver was added to the Archive series, the watch we will look at in just a few seconds. So let's get to it. Unlike on a usual watch box, only the lid folds back here, revealing the Devil Diver. And it unfolds even further, revealing a secret compartment that holds the user manual. I was surprised by this box design when I picked the watch up, and I think it presents the timepiece quite nicely. But I know what you number crunchers want to hear, so let's get to the specs. The Oceanographer's stainless steel case measures 41mm across and about 45mm from lug tip to lug tip, making it wear comfortable even on smaller wrists. For comparison, my wrist is about 18 centimeters in circumference, that's a little over 7 inches. The thickness of the watch is 14mm, which you barely notice due to the convex cushion case. For the lug width, Bulova has chosen the uncommon 19mm measurement, and of course the water resistance is 666 feet, aka a little over 200 meters. This variant retails for 550 euros directly from Bulova, but it can be found around the 400 euro mark used or on sale. Inside you will find the Miyota 821D 21B automatic caliber, which provides a decent 42 hours of power reserve when fully wound and ticks along at 21,600 vibrations per hour. This movement features a date at the 3 o'clock position, which is framed and also magnified. The cyclop is glued to the bottom of the sapphire crystal, and in reality it doesn't do its magnification job all too well. But I will forgive Bulova for putting it on there, since the original from the 1970s also had it. Just like the distinctive hour markers, little cylinders of an opaque material which are held in place by 4 prongs each, like diamonds in a piece of jewelry. But most distinctive of all is that vibrant orange dial. Believe me, the camera doesn't do this color justice. It's even brighter in real life. The dial is sectioned off by a black crosshair and also features an applied Bulova logo, as well as the model designation. Part of the black acrylic bezel insert is also bright orange, and it's fully graduated with white hash marks. The loomed hour and minute hands are white and baton shaped. While some versions of the Oceanographer come on a stainless steel bracelet, the orange version comes on a black rubber band that is nicely integrated into the case. It straps to your wrist with a signed 3-piece buckle and has a lovely weave pattern running along it. Oh, and the crown is also signed with Bulova lettering, by the way. The watch initially caught my eye when I was scrolling through Bulova's offerings on their website one day. After discovering that it was a vintage reedition, more on that in a second, I sort of saved it in my head as one of those watches to buy when found at a good price. I'm sure my fellow watch enthusiasts can relate. That was until I spotted the original Oceanographer on actor Tomas Milian's wrist in the movie Squadra antiscippo from 1976. He plays the main character of this film franchise, Nico Giraldi, whose eccentric style is perfectly complemented by the Devil Diver's bright colored appearance. And even though it might have just been the actor's personal watch, I was now hooked, and within a couple days I had made the purchase. And by the way, I definitely recommend watching that series of movies directed by Bruno Corbucci. Very entertaining in my opinion and available on Netflix as of now. As I've mentioned in previous videos already, I've simply grown an admiration of old things over the years. Whether it be movies, TV shows, cars, clothing, or of course, watches. And interestingly, these don't necessarily need to be old for me to enjoy them very much, but rather just look old. Especially cars and watches I feel were just designed and styled in a different way back in the day that really speaks to me. And I don't know whether it's the dimensions, the fonts used, or the colors. I can't really put my finger on it. They just feel more special to me. I really appreciate the Oceanographer's distinct character, especially the quirky indices and the in-your-face, colorful appearance. I love how they've kept this reissue so close to the original, down to details like using the same typeface and crosshair on the dial. With watches I usually rather have the real thing than a re-edition. But with this Bulova there are two major advantages to the new version: the price and the water resistance. The original Oceanographers from the 60s and 70s start at around €1,000 on Chrono24 or eBay. Add a few hundreds for potential service costs and gasket replacements, and this re-edition of the Devil Diver starts to look very attractive, even at retail. Furthermore, the watch wears super comfy, as mentioned earlier. The 41mm size is perfect, and the rubber strap is very flexible and plush. I was initially planning on switching it out, but have really started liking it. I think it complements the vintage styling of the Devil Diver quite well, and due to its integrated build, it creates a more rounded off profile around the wrist. Therefore, the watch can sit more snugly while not being too tight. Geniusly engineered by Bulova. However, I do have to slightly criticize here and there. For example, hypothetically, if I didn't like the strap so much, the rather uncommon 19mm lug width would annoy me. Also, I've noticed that the case shape on the original from 1972 was slightly wider, also protecting the crown better. I would have preferred it that way, but Bulova likely had a reason for this change. Also, this is complaining on a very high level, so I'll just cut it here. Overall, I can definitely recommend this watch as I've really enjoyed wearing it non-stop for the past 2 weeks. I'm looking forward to Bulova releasing more faithful reissues of older models in their archive series and wish more manufacturers would go that route. Either way, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this quick review. I would really be interested to know your thoughts on this Bulova re-edition of a past icon in the comments below. And if you're new to the channel, you can subscribe for more watch content. Stay healthy and goodbye.